Hey, we're finally here. I'm here with two Canadian guys at the Woodgym that have been here for 2 weeks. This is my 4th year having the Canadians. One is Matt and one is Alex. All right, you guys say your last names. Matthew, how do you say your last name? It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. It's actually pronounced Betts, B-E-T-T-S.
Matthew Betts. And where are you from?
I'm from Montreal, Quebec.
Montreal, Quebec. Alex, your last name would be?
Savard.
Yeah, I'm not going to try that one. No, I flunked English tons of times. And you were from the same place?
Exactly. Montreal.
And you guys played the same university, correct?
Correct.
All right, so Matthew, tell me your journey of how you got to the Woodgym.
Well, pretty much I've just been playing for the last 4 years for Laval University with Alex. Had a blast there. Obviously got to know a bunch of good people there, a bunch of my teammates who are now my brothers there. My journey to the Woodgym basically is me trying to do as much as I can to go to the next level, to the professional level. Either it's for the NFL or the CFL, and we had the chance, and I'll speak for myself, but I think it's pretty much a story that's the same for Alex, where we're working with our agent, Sasha Gavami, who has worked with you in the past, sending Laurent here, sending Anthony here, who are now in the NFL with both Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, in a sense, we're trying to follow in their footsteps, just trying to get ready for All-Star game. I'm going to the Shrine game, who will be held on January 19th in St. Petersburg. So I'm just trying to get in shape before that. Obviously, we had a long season winning the championship there, but we're just trying to stay in shape and get ready for a great off season.
And when did your off season? When did your season end?
I don't remember the exact date, but really
November
the end of 27th, November 27th.
Is it like college football where you guys play like a bowl game or a playoff game? Because Laval is what you guys have been telling me, and even the gentleman on the couch, Nate Gillum, who plays at Wake Forest, we were talking about, like, you guys are the Alabama of Canada, correct?
Yes, well, we're the team who has the most national championships in the history of our league, and we're a young program. We're a program that's only been in the league since 1995, so we have 10 national championships since 1995. Our head coach, Glenn Constantine, was part of it on the whole 10 of them, with pretty much the same coordinators. He's been the head coach for 9 of these championships. Before that, it was Jacques Chapdelaine who was there, who's been a long time in the CFL. So that's pretty much what we're saying, in the sense that we're a team that's been dominant over the last couple of years. One of the prides there at Laval is that we have a 5-year eligibility to play football down up north, and nobody's ever been through that program for a whole 5 years, for a whole cycle without winning a national championship. So we like to say that the guys who go there will be able to compete for championships, but mostly become better human beings and just try to have fun while we're at college at the same time.
And this is a totally different university than McGill, from where Laurent came out of, correct, Alex?
I think, yes. It's not like the same, like the installation down there. It's not like as good as ours. And I think that you're going to McGill like for mostly like for school, actually, more than football.
And Laurent's the starting right guard for the Kansas City Chiefs, for the listeners out there that don't know. And he's dominated. He came onto the scene and has made his way for the Canadian guys, I would say, in the last, 10 years or so? The only practicing medical doctor in NFL history that's doing what he's doing. So
I already was like training in season like once a week with the team, because he had like to do school during like practices.
Yeah, and I think the first year he got out of Andy Reid was so impressed by him and his responsibility that he released him from OTA so he could go back and do his studying. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Alex, what do you think of the Woodgym and the experience you've had here the last 2 weeks in Knoxville, Tennessee?
I mean, it's been amazing. You, Petrone, you're an amazing guy. And I love like the way it is like inside. It's like you want to be a savage down here. Like, you know, it's like you want to bang some weight, and I liked it.
Good. I mean, I think both of you guys are going to tear up your bowl games. They both leave Saturday to go off to the NFLPA in the East-West, and I think you guys are going to be super prepared. I know you're heavier, hopefully leaner, not slower, but, I mean, it's been an amazing 2 weeks, I know, and it's flown by. I mean, we take off tomorrow to Lexington, Kentucky to work with Chad Pennington, who was the Jets quarterback for 10 years and with the Dolphins, and, had him since 15 years of age from Webb High School. And that's going to be a great experience. I'm even looking forward to basically chilling out on the ride, and just kicking it and getting up there and getting some work done. And then we get back probably around 4, and we'll do a light session with the Cleveland Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, at 5 o'clock in here. And then go out to eat and shut it down, and everybody takes off to their places. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm so excited. So take me through the process after your East-West game and your NFLPA game, which I know you guys will do great. You have pro days set up, obviously, right? So you go back, and will you start doing your training again, or do you guys have to go back to school? I don't even know like your education and where you guys are.
Well, I'll start on the football part where, the plan right now is to host a pro day at Laval University for, mainly both of us, probably one of another guy who's out there, Samuel Tamassin, was an offensive guard for us. Nothing's done yet for a date or if it's going to happen, but that's the plan for us right now. And the whole point of us going to our All-Star game is to get enough scouts who are interested in seeing us perform for physical tests to come out in Quebec City and to see us perform on a pro day. So that's mainly that's going to be the main objective for us for the next week, to show ourselves that we're good on the football field, so that we'll be able to run our tests in front of the scouts. If not, obviously we'll still get in a good physical shape for combines, because we're both invited to the CFL National Combine, who will be held on March 22nd in Toronto this year. So this is another thing for us, for the CFL scouts. On my part, obviously training will be my main focus for the off season, but I still have a semester to complete my bachelor degree. So I'm finishing my degree right now in education. I just had my final internship the last semester in the fall, so I'm basically done, but I still have a couple of classes to do to get my final credits to get my degree.
And you're going to be a teacher when it's all said and done after football, correct?
That's the plan. Obviously, I have a bunch of projects. I can't necessarily tell you what's going to happen with me, with my future, with my professional career. No, I don't have to kill you, Chad. I would like to be able to tell you what I'll be doing, but
pretty cool.
The whole thing of it is that I don't know, and I think it's part of the journey, not really knowing what's up for you. But I think that we're privileged to have been playing for Laval University, to have been there for college, and I think the main reason for that is the opportunities that will be open for us afterwards. And I'm talking even though with or without a pro football career, I think that's what you really want. I don't necessarily want to say that I played in the league for I don't know how many years, couple of years, just to say I played in the league. What I want to go out there is to gain more opportunities, to build more relationships that hopefully will, help me towards my life for the rest of my professional career, and but hopefully I'll be able to teach somewhere in between that.
And Alex, your journey, your path. The big thing we talk about Canada, we think hockey, and you said you played a lot of hockey also. It's different to have the football, and we know about the CFL, but now you guys are from Laurent to Anthony Auclair. You guys are making a pretty good steam into the NFL. How did that come about for you?
I mean,
how did you know that football was going to be the direction instead of hockey? You said you played hockey, right?
I don't know. I think it's like everything like around football. Like I like to train. I like to like be around with the guys. It's like more a family sports than hockey, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's like going to war with my guys, and you're just it's a big family. So I was like wondering why, like what it's actually like being a football player. And I start like training for real and start like aiming for the big league, and
And you played them both growing up, correct? Like,
yeah,
and,
exactly.
And then when did you stop? Because all the American athletes nowadays, and they could probably tell you that also, is you do your basketball, you do your wrestling, you do your football, you do your baseball, and then most of the guys now, freshman, sophomore year, branch out and go, or don't branch out and go, okay, now I'm going to have a tunnel vision for one sport. When did you start doing that? Where you were hockey and football, and then finally
I was in my last year in my last year in high school, and I decided like to just play football, and like I give up like on hockey.
And that's it. That's what you were going to. And your high school, take me back to that, because you guys call it a CJEP year. So your high school is 4 years or 3 years or 5 years?
5 years.
So
5 years.
Yeah. So everybody here you're 23, Matt, correct?
Correct.
And you're 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You took a year off to take care of some family issues, and then,
and I take a year off to do my firefighting school, so it's like my plan B if it doesn't work with the pros, actually.
So you're gonna be a fireman.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty. You'd probably be the largest. You'd probably be part of the building once you get in there. Is there a fireman your size on? Would you say squad, team, what unit? What would you say?
It's a team actually,
Yeah.
but
How many is in your fire department? That's pretty neat.
it depends. I mean, in Montreal, it's like 12 to 15 like firemen in the same like team, and like the other town around Montreal, it's like I think 6 or 7 men.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat. Okay, so now let's go one more thing into the sport, and I'll stay with you, Alex, since we're rolling. How'd you become a tight end? Did you also play defense and then branch out again?
I never played a defense. I always played receiver.
It's okay. Do you guys, again, down here, a lot of the guys go both ways. I don't know if Nate did. Nate, you go both ways?
I did up to a point where, until junior year, I did go both ways. And my coach didn't really like to do that, but I did my freshman and sophomore year a lot.
Yeah, he went to a big school here in Knoxville called Farragut High School, which they have so many people. They go, they could go offense, defense. But then, like where Harrison Smith went at Catholic High School, it's the Viking safety now. Actually, he played everywhere on the field, but most of the time, those guys have to go both ways because the private schools are a little bit smaller. Did you go both ways? And I'm talking football.
Well, football-wise, no, I haven't. Well, ever since
Nobody
I played
got
in
that.
high school. So, but she did though.
Thank you. I got one joke out of it. Thank you. One laugh.
But
So Matthew doesn't go both ways for the record for our listeners.
That's all right. So.
So you just a DN, just a rush DN, no offense.
Exactly. I played a little bit for some special packages as a tight end or fullback in my years, but it's kind of the same with Alex. I mean, that's just not the mentality around where we play, because I mean there are bigger football teams, smaller football teams, but I think that as much as teams want to compete, I think they take pride in making sure that everybody who's on that team gets a chance to play, either they're a sophomore, junior, or senior in high school. So if you're on the team, we'll try to find a spot for you. So it wouldn't be fair for me to be a better athlete to play both, I don't know, offensive guard and defensive end, just because one of the guys might not have the same athletic skills as me. So they want to put everybody on the field. They want everybody to contribute. And I think that's what brings more of a family aspect to a football team, where everybody feels like they can contribute to what we're doing.
So your defense, your offense, did you come up with a certain aggression younger in age of like boxing, wrestling? Most defensive guys like to hit, and then the offensive guys, you're more of a passing guy. I mean, would you say you're more aggressive and we're like, okay, I got to start hitting people, and you're like, I want to start catching the ball and not actually run away from the hits, not take a hit, but like I'd rather, score some touchdowns.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is why I changed like my position like after like 2 or 3 years after in university, because I want like to be like part of the box, like blocking some guys, like the more physical game than being just a receiver.
Yeah, I would say nowadays that offense is defense and defense is offense, where the aggression is equal. You know, watching you guys going one-on-one with Nate and all you guys doing your thing, it's pretty hand-to-hand combat type jazz, wouldn't you say? Like, it's not, I don't see any finesse to the game of an offensive lineman or a tight end now that everybody's in so many packages of blocking. I mean, even wide receivers, the good ones are physical. I mean, you're an American football player. Wouldn't you say that, Nate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the bigger, we have some big receivers, like a slot is definitely smaller than the outside receiver. Those outside receivers have to block or the play won't go.
So it's not like, I don't know, even when I was growing up, if you were physical and like to be hit, you were on defense. The coach in Pee Wee football put you on defense, and then, you know, okay, he likes to hit, and, you know, same thing with basketball, defensive guy. Now it's, I think everybody's physical. I don't think there's a separation of a finesse guy doesn't like to get hit. I mean, do you know guys on your team that are like, I think I could buckle him, he doesn't want to get hit?
Well, there are definitely these types of guy, but I mean, it's just kind of interesting you talking about that, because I've already had this discussion with Alex, and he was talking about aggression, and he was saying that was basically his favorite part of his game. Either it's to block a down lineman or to block someone on special team and just hit people around. So obviously he was a receiver, he's a tight end. So
right.
I'm not sure who went at it first, but I told him, well, would you rather, or I think he told me, well, I'd rather just smack somebody in the mouth than catching a football for a touchdown. And he's a tight end. He told me that.
So. So we opened up something on that, because that was a topic that you see a lot. Oh, this guy, you know, doesn't want to go across the middle and get hit, which I understand. I don't think too many people want to be exposed.
I wouldn't like it either.
But, you know, it's a collision sport. I guess the thing is, again, with Nate in the room with us, we're fortunate to have him, is it's a collision sport no matter what position you play. I mean, even if you're not having the concussion protocol of head-to-head, they've shown so many studies of just the bodies hitting each other and whipping the head is about the same thing. I've been studying some of that on other podcasts I've been listening to. They've been talking about that. So what do you guys think about, like, the concussions? I'm sure 5 levels or 5 years of college football, you've been knocked out. Maybe all 3 of you guys?
Well, I did, but the thing for me is playing defensive lineman. I think the collision you have are with bigger bodies, but they don't come at the same speed because we're just closer to each other when the play comes on, depending on the receiver, where even though he gets hit by a lighter body who's typically not as strong as linemen's, he comes in way faster because he runs a route and the other one's breaking on the route. So it's not the same type of collision. And I like to say from time to time that the people who play in the box and the people who play outside the box in football, basically they don't play the same sport at all. I mean, you could argue that, where receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, it's kind of playing like 7-on-7 or flag football, this type of stuff. But then you add the guys within the box and everything just comes together. But to me, playing offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, running back on a running play is really not the same thing as a receiver running around against a defensive back. So it's not the same type of collisions. Obviously, you're talking about concussion. I think football has taken some really great steps towards fighting this thing that's hunting their sports. But the studies show too that, well, I'll speak for Canada. I think football, percentage-wise, is the 3rd or 4th sports in Canada where concussion comes more often. I think from 1 to 4, it's soccer, hockey, ski, and then football. So I think we're progressing on that part, and we still have a huge part to go on. And I think our generation will have to keep on rising towards making football a safer sport in order to be able to keep on playing for the next generations.
Do you guys play special teams also, Alex?
Yeah, I did. I play on punt return and kickoff return, and also field goal.
So that's a little bit more of a a 40-yard run down, smash it into somebody, correct?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Have you ever been lights out or lighted out anybody?
The only time it was at not this year, Vanier Cup, but the last one against Western. I had a bad hit on. I was trying to catch the ball in the middle of the field, and the ball was low, and I down my shoulder, and the backer just smacked me in the head, and I was like feeling all my body like left, and I like woke up like two or 3 seconds after, and I ran to the bench, and I was like pissed. And at some point in the game, I was like doing like I don't know how to say it, like not the right play, and like my coaches like were like come back and like all the physios like were questioning me for to know if I was all right, and I was like just fuck.
Yeah, it's not good to get fucked.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
On national television.
Yeah, that's awesome.
go,
That's, yeah, no. And that was what year was that? Your junior, senior year? I mean, were you the same size you are now?
No, I was a bit lighter. I was like 238,
And what are you weighing right now?
250, 253.
So we've been eating well and putting on good size, and
True.
both you guys have gained what? Roughly 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks?
Well, 5 pounds of brown bag, definitely. And
Yeah.
then,
It's getting to be brown bag time.
the other 5 pounds come from you, Charlie.
Yeah, I know, definitely brown bag.
Special shake at 9.
Man, I really appreciate just rapping with you guys. I just want to take a short time out and get a cool podcast because I know you guys are going to leave, and I don't know if I ever see you again, but it's been a pleasure. You guys living with me. You've been nothing but utmost gentlemen and treated my family and the people in this wood gym at the highest respect, and I appreciate it. I love you guys. I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you, Matt and Alex, for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. We love you too, Charlie.
Thank you.